Guys, we simply cannot have nice things. For a long time, TYT has been one of, if not the biggest, progressive alternate media outlet on the internet. And for a while now, there's been a bit of a meme about how there must be a gas leak over there because their takes have been getting progressively more and more questionable. And some have even suggested, some people such as myself, have even suggested that TYT might be following the money a little bit. The money that seems to be almost entirely in right-wing grift politics online. In fact, the fact that there is so much money to be made off of right-wing grift politics has actually become one of the biggest talking points of the right lately. I have seen multiple clips from Tim Pool, Andrew Klavan, Ben Shapiro, Joe Rogan. Every conservative pundit down the line is taking a victory lap, not only taking credit for winning Trump the election, but talking about how the left is big mad because no one wants to watch them. They go on to talk about how progressive content is boring. It doesn't provide answers for the questions people really want to hear. The algorithm doesn't like it. And the lack of success for the left online, from figures like me, from, just lefty figures in general, is because our ideas are worse. If our ideas were better, we'd succeed online. And people buy this. People literally gravitate towards the largest figures online because obviously their success means they've got something valid to say. And at a certain point, we already lost the battle. The fact that they are already so overwhelmingly dominant means that we might have already lost the battle irreparably. Not just because it might be impossible to pull people away from these figures, but their massive size lends them credibility that we can never have. Not unless it not outside of 4 years of anger at Trump, maybe. At the end of the by the next election, maybe we'll have a lot of progressive figures that rival conservative ones. But right now, which has also been a big part of their bragging, conservative pundits across the board are seeing upwards of 20, 30, 40% increase in viewership. Tim Pool has seen a 40% jump in revenue and viewership. The Daily Wire has seen a 30% jump in viewership. Fox News has experienced a 50% jump in viewership and ratings, and across the board, inversely, progressive media, both online and in the mainstream, has seen even larger drops in ratings and viewership. Progressives in America, in particular, when it comes to the mainstream media, are tuning out. They are conceding, they are giving up, and they are basically just allowing the right to win. And for a lot of progressive content creators that see the writing on the wall, that a lot of leftist Americans are just dipping out. They refuse to fight the battles online that need to be fought for us to have what the right has, are now turning to the right. Cenk Uygur being a big example. I used to think that this guy would never fully cuck to the right, no matter how much the money was there, but, well, left-wing media host Cenk Uygur chides the Democratic Party after a meeting with Elon Musk. Left-leaning media host Cenk Uygur on Tuesday chided Democrats after engaging with ex-owner Elon Musk over ways to improve the Department of Defense budget. The conversation came following Musk's appointment to the new Federal Department of Government Efficiency. President-elect Donald Trump charged him and former presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy with confronting wasteful government spending. So for those that don't know, Cenk Uygur and TYT have always been of the opinion that no money in America should be spent on anything to do with foreign policy. No wars, no backing up of our allies. Cenk Uygur has been tweeting about how we should not have been giving weapons and funding to Ukraine, for instance. His politics are very, isolationist, separationist, no helping allies, no fighting in wars, none of that, right? And so the idea of being able to speak with Elon Musk and convince him, let's revoke all financial support for our allies overseas, let's cut down on military spending, that actually appeals. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't even Cenk Uygur following the money, if it's literally him being fooled by Elon into thinking he cares about the American people and saving money in areas where it shouldn't be spent. Uygur, who hosts the progressive news show The Young Turks, wrote to Musk via X Monday offering insight about how to organize the country's military spending. "Hey, at Elon Musk, put me in charge of the Pentagon," he wrote. "I'll slash 400 billion easy. That'll get you 20% to your goal of 2 trillion right out of the gate. I went to Wharton 3 years before you. I own a media company, so I know how to run a business. If you really want to cut, put me in, coach." This is genuinely like bootlicking cuck shit, mind you, but, you know, a man's gotta hustle, I guess. Musk responded saying, "Specific suggestions are welcome. As you know, you'd need to see and this is Uygur responding. "As you know, you'd need to see the line items in the budget, but I have one suggestion already," Uygur wrote. "The generals are not allowed to get a job with defense contractors for 10 years. They authorize so much wasteful spending because they're going to get hired by those same companies." The exchange led Uygur to come away with a newfound respect for Republican leadership, he wrote, tweeting, "I asked at Elon Musk to put me in charge of cutting costs at the Pentagon," Uygur wrote, "and he said, 'What are your suggestions? I run the largest left-wing network online, and a Democratic leader has never asked me that question. The idea that they would take advice from a populist is disdainful to them.'" It really does go to show that the kind of ideas that progressive media pundits like TYT have been suggesting have been so destructive this whole time that, thank God, the Republicans who have been in power before have not been willing to listen to them. But now, because there are no adults in the room, it's only clowns running the circus now. Crazy populist ideas that'll probably end up destroying our country. There are people in power that'll say, "Hey, what the hell, let's try it." Doesn't Congress often give the Pentagon more money than it asks for? I'm pretty sure it does, because isn't, like, within Congress, military spending actually pretty popular? I don't know. Cenk Uygur goes on to say, "Now which side seems more open and inclusive now?" He continued, "Which side seems more welcoming? And which side tries really hard to drive you away if you disagree even a little with the orthodoxy? Which side is asking for suggestions, and which one is demanding compliance and obedience?" He doesn't even make it a, hey, maybe some Republicans or Elon aren't so bad after all. He brings it all the way around to the Anna Kasparian. Do you think that, like, Anna, Cenk, and all of the other people at TYT are gonna, like, stagger their grift flips? Because Anna was the first one to go right-wing. Or actually, no, Glenn Greenwald was the first one to go right-wing. Now it's Anna. Now it's Cenk Uygur. Do you think, like, we're gonna see the rest of them? I think Emma... Or not Majority Report. I think Emma's probably next in line, though, from the Majority Report. She's practically, like, the same politics as them. I expect Emma from the Majority Report is probably gonna hop on the Trump train in the coming, like, within a year. Mark my words. 12 months from now, within the 12 months from now, Emma from Majority Report, Emma Vigiland, or Vigiland, Vinland, however it's pronounced, her ass is going to be on Fox News, The Daily Wire, whatever right-wing outlet will take her. Or TYT, which I think is going to be a right-wing outlet within the next year. Oh, sorry, no, Dave Rubin was the original flip-flopper, yeah. TYT has literally been a factory for producing left-wing figures that don't make enough money for their liking from progressive content because there's just no money in this compared to the right, grift over to the right and become millionaires off of, like, basically saying everything that they learned was super wrong and an effective lie as a progressive figure. They just learned to start saying those things for easy money, because that's always, like, I could just start saying wokeness is destroying our society, DEI is being pushed in schools. I know that's not true. As a progressive figure, they know that's not true. But pushing these, like, popular lies that you used to fight against is just an easy path to more money, especially if you've already got a platform as a progressive figure, because then you're a progressive figure who left the left. And so, yeah, it looks like you're going to see in the coming months, in the coming year probably, as, like, the writing is on the wall, that there's just not money to be made doing this. Like, you are pretty much, unless you're one of, like, 2 or 3 people, if you're an online progressive figure, you are perma-locked into, like, a relatively niche area on the internet, unless we do what the right has done, probably over the course of years, to change that. And a lot of people do not want to do it. A lot of people don't care. They just want the money. They just want this to be profitable already. And I don't know if it ever will be profitable. Not as much as the right. The right is always going to make massive amounts of money, and that's always going to benefit them. But I think we can gain the popular grassroots support if we really put our heads together. But people like Cenk Uyger and most of the people at TYT are not willing to do this. They'd rather bend the knee to Trump. In fact, as I said before, I tried to find it at the start of this segment, but I couldn't, and so I'm pissed. But if anyone's seen it, I know that Ukrainian Anna posted it on Twitter, is a side-by-side of Donald Trump Jr.'s tweet about financial funding to Ukraine and Cenk Uyger's recent tweet about financial funding to Ukraine. They're both in format and word for word nearly identical takes. Nearly identical. The right and left-wing populism around the US needing to pull support from Israel and Ukraine is unanimous. It's a big part of how I think we're going to see a fair amount of progressive viewership bleed to the right in coming years too, because they're going to see the right's advocacy against American involvement overseas as based. The anti-America stuff on the left really did help Trump. Hot take, I don't think we should cut military spending. We probably shouldn't. We're probably not spending too much on the military, to be honest. I think we're probably spending maybe a little bit too much, but I think it's probably justified considering America having the most powerful military on Earth is a big deal, and there are a lot of ways in which we benefit from that aren't really considered, you know? Anyway, what a tragedy. I really do hope we don't see more progressive figures cuck themselves out to the right just for the money. I get that there's not a lot of money in this. There never has been. I've lived paycheck to paycheck as long as I've done YouTube. It's not a joke. As long as I've done progressive content on YouTube, I have literally lived paycheck to paycheck, and most progressive figures you watch are also living paycheck to paycheck, because that is the life of progressive content creation. That's just the reality of it. You gotta work 5 times as hard if you want to get to where the right has gone, maybe more. And that's what I'm ready to do. But a lot of people here don't seem to be ready to do that. We got Cenk Uygers out here, cucking and bending the knee to the right. Not me, baby. Not me. This has been a fire lit under my ass, a recognition, a wake-up call to the fact that our ideas were nowhere near as popular as I even thought they were. And frankly, I had a pretty, I thought, grim perspective on the mindset of the American people. And yet, Trump overperformed. The Republicans in general overperformed, in my estimation. What a wake-up call. We need to fucking grind, dude. Our ideas are not going to win on their own. We have to fight for it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this segment, please consider leaving a like. Every single thumbs up goes a long way to boost my channel and the algorithm. You can consider it like casting a blue ballot for YouTube to push my content and the algorithm to more people. Same goes for commenting. You can comment anything you like, even if it's just something dumb like, I don't know, fucking who up Xandering their haul. It helps. Same goes for subscribing and ring the bell icon so YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video. And don't forget to follow my social medias linked down below as well if you haven't already. I've got a link to all of them, including my Blue Sky, and especially you should join my Discord server. At least once a week I host gaming events, call-in streams, or watch parties there. Notably tomorrow I'll be hosting a watch party in my Discord, and I announce all my new uploads and streams there, so even if YouTube messes up, my Discord won't, and you'll be in there. And you'll get notified, so consider joining. Finally, if you want to support me directly, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me financially through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, StreamElements, Patreon, or buying merch at the Streamlabs link down below if you feel like it. Regardless, though, of how you support me, thank you so much for watching, as always, and I hope to see you again.